warfare. It's what we are trying to do, because the true one that's going to conduct the biochemical warfare on us in the next 10 years is Earth Mother. And you're going to see war like you ain't never seen before. Coastlines are going to disappear. You want bio-warfare? You're going to get it. And here's what I'm going to say. And why do I say this? Well, let us stop for a moment and access the language we are being given to define the present moment of this crumbling paradigm. When we say bio-warfare, what is implied? The word bio is Greek for life. The prefix denotes living things, biology, biographical. The definition of war is as follows: a state of open-armed, often prolonged conflict carried on between nations, states, and parties. A condition of active antagonism or contention. To be in a state of hostility. This is where the earth is going. So when you hear the word of the media and the government state that there is a threat from biological warfare, a logical pairing of the two words would mean hostility, antagonism, or conflict with life. But the technical definition given by Webster is even more succinct. Biological warfare is warfare in which disease-producing microorganisms or organic biocides are used to destroy livestock, crops, and human life. There ain't a biological weapon created by man that's going to do the shit that the biological weapon created by nature is getting ready to do. It would appear that from the technical definition, the Caucasoid, by his very presence, and his very culture, his very mindset, is toxic to our environment. What type of mind, what type of thought process, what type of psychotic dementia would conceive and implement methodical steps to turn aspects of life into weapons of death, except a diseased mind? Yes. In naturopathic medicine, the therapists work with the patient to help the body bring the disease to the surface. For the past 500 years, a disease within the human genetic strain has been slowly rising to the surface. And finally, in these last days of our present consciousness paradigm, we see him at last. Rejoice, brothers and sisters, our healing is at hand. The spirit body of man is in its final stages of healing during this time. We will witness trauma, catharsis, but we will be healed of this disease. He will be purged from the spiritual, genetic, atomic, and molecular fabric of material being. And why? Because he has now put out information that he can't have babies no more. Why is that? In the meantime, we are here as dream workers to examine the body human and learn from what it is that we see as the mistakes of ignorance and the aggrandizement of ego. Look carefully at this recessive's action, this white man, this recessive's action towards Nature Mother. 1, his campaigns of vaccination. 2, his contamination of the soil and thus our foods. 3, the torture and traumatization of innocent, gentle animal life. 4, mind, body, and soul control. I repeat, mind, body, and soul control through the church, government, and the education systems. 5, the systemic and purposeful dismantling and mutilation of that divine fabric of human life called the family and the community. 6, the contamination and pollution of the two most basic, essential things to human life, the air and the water. Plug this in for me, please, brother. And lastly, as we speak, the militarization. You took it out? You took this out. Let's push that out. The militarization of outer space, the frequency wars being conducted on us to undermine and cripple higher consciousness, and the intent to alter the genetics of humanity to create a more docile and compliant slave. Is biological warfare new? No, sir. The earth has always been cleansing herself of organisms that are detrimental to her evolutionary imperatives, no matter how simple or complex. And this Caucasoid and his diseased being will be no different. the devastating consequences of this multi-psychotic, multi-leveled attack against the four living foundational sentinels of life, fire, air, water, and earth, will be the response of Nature Mother herself. The Earth Mother is in fact a living, breathing, consciously acting and reacting organism of cosmic intelligence that is also going through its own personal evolutionary consciousness. Oh, give the mic over there. Because it is alive and conscious, it not only acts but reacts to conditions that would threaten and destabilize her own harmony. When you have done something to the body of and its intelligence, atomic intelligence, cosmic intelligence that reacts to align you is under universal law. As your atomic intelligence is aligning you, you experience symptoms such as headaches, runny nose, palpitations, fever, chills, even skin eruptions or growths. At the present time, this is comparable to the symptomatic representations or stages experienced by this earth. The final combination of psychic traumas, wars, suffering, cruelty, echo rape, and other heinous crimes and violations against both man and planet have become chronic. Brothers and sisters, we have now entered the time of the great dying. Let me repeat that. We have entered the time of the great dying, as predicted by our ancestors. You see, because we are in the final stages of this paradigm, the light that once fed and sustained its existence is rapidly fading. Let me say that again. There is a light that surrounds our planet, and there's a light that surrounds you. There are certain people that do certain kinds of works that automatically causes their light to become amplified.
Teach it, brother. Teach
that energy is leaving, and this planet is slowly getting darker and darker. Give big up to my two seeds, my son and my daughter over there. That's my future.
Right. Yes, sir.
Understand that who you are, the more you encompass light, the more you affect the people and circumstances around you. If you go to work where you got dull-ass people, you can feel how different you are, because your light automatically shows you the difference. People who know what effects that they have to other people around them have a tendency to affect people in such a way that those people hate you, because you agitate a cleansing in them. You cause them to want to go shit. You cause them headaches, and they don't know why. But you are working their nerves just by your presence.
Absolutely.
And just as equally, when somebody who's fucked up, dead, a succubus, drone, zombie motherfucker, you can tell. Because when you stand next to them, you start getting sleepy. And you don't want to talk. Your voice start getting dribbled and shit. It's like a vampire sucking on your neck. Well, I'm saying that to tell you this, that those people who are of the light, they're leaving us. All these mass deaths are people who carry specific lights, and the earth is getting darker and darker. Those of you who have synchronized yourselves with that light, those of you who have become addicted to the spasmodic energies emanated by its death throes, will also find yourselves losing your light. The more light that fades, the more light that leaves, the more evil that crystallizes. This is why it sometimes appears to the light workers and dream walkers as if nothing is changing, despite their hard and dedicated efforts. All of this is due to the fact that the source of this retrograde paradigm, its life essence, its light essence, is dissipating. Remember, the paradigm that we're living in is a conscious light that you feed from and then feed into. The light from the dead paradigm has no more life in it. It's like sucking on the bottom of a soda bottle trying to get that last of soda that's off in the corner. There's nothing left of this dead-ass paradigm. There's nothing left of religion. There's nothing left of politics. There's nothing left of education. So the more you suck on that shit, the more dead you become. The weaker you become. You cannot feed your light in church. I don't give a damn how much you excuse. Oh, you know, they got a few things in there that you may want to... Bullshit! All of them are vampires.